Today, we're going to tell you a story about a pretty incredible transformation. It's about how one of our biggest, ugliest waste problems could actually become the very fuel for our green future. We're talking about going from landfill to Lifeline.
All right, let's just jump right in with a number that should really grab you. 11. That's how many years some projections say Ontario has left before our landfills are completely, totally full. We are literally running out of room to throw things away.
And a huge part of that problem looks just like this. This is wood waste from the construction, renovation, and demolition sector. You'll hear it called CRD waste. I mean, think about it. Every new building, every kitchen reno, it all creates mountains of this stuff. And right now, most of it just gets buried in the ground.
But here's where it gets interesting. Here's the paradox. While we're burying all that wood, there's this whole new green bioeconomy popping up. These are industries making things like bioplastics and advanced materials, and they are absolutely starved for one key ingredient: clean wood. So you gotta ask, right? Why aren't we connecting these two things?
Well, the answer to that question, the big roadblock, is what we call the contamination challenge. It's the reason we can't just scoop up all that wood waste and put it to good use. It's because, and this is so important, not all wood waste is the same. On the one hand, you've got clean wood. That's the good stuff, the raw material, the feedstock that our new bio-industries need. But on the other hand, you have hazardous wood. We're talking about wood that's been treated with nasty chemicals to stop it from rotting, or old wood that's covered in lead-based paint. You can't just grind that up. It's literally toxic.
And how do we know it's toxic? Well, there's a scientific test for it. It's a mouthful, but it's called the Toxicity Characteristic Leaching Procedure, or TCLP. Basically, scientists in a lab give the wood an acid bath to mimic what happens in a landfill. And if nasty stuff like lead leaks out above a certain level, that wood gets stamped hazardous waste.
Okay, so we've got a problem, right? We have a massive supply of mixed wood waste and a growing demand for perfectly clean wood. This is where a really clever idea comes into play: the Rehome Depot. It's designed to be the missing link that finally gets our supply chain working in a circle.
And this isn't just some vague idea on a napkin. It's a fully developed concept. What you're looking at is a design for a real, potential location, Toronto's old Wellington Destructor site. The whole point is to create a central hub right in the city where we can start managing all this CRD waste intelligently.
Now, if you want the simplest way to think about it, this quote nails it. Think of it as an urban refinery for wood waste. You know how a normal refinery takes in crude oil and separates it out into valuable stuff like gasoline and plastic? Well, a Rehome Depot does the exact same thing, but its crude oil is a giant pile of scrap wood. So how does this refinery actually work? It uses a process called cascading use. It's pretty straightforward. Step 1. All the mixed wood from construction sites gets dropped off. Step 2. They sort for the best stuff. A beautiful old beam, a solid wood door, that gets pulled out to be sold and reused as is. Then, Step 3. All the leftover bits, the pieces that are too short or damaged but are still clean, that gets gathered up. And that becomes the clean, reliable feedstock that the bioeconomy is desperate for.
But just sorting the wood is only part of the solution. The real magic here is how this whole system connects the dots, bridging that gap between our cities where the waste is made and the rural or industrial areas where it can be used.
This is what we call a hub-and-spoke model. Think about it. The waste is coming from thousands of different construction sites all over a city like Toronto. Those are the spokes. The Rehome Depot acts as the central hub, the urban filter. It's where all that material gets collected, sorted, and bundled up into huge volumes, solving a massive logistics headache.
And when I say huge volumes, I mean it. Once it's all sorted at the Rehome Depot, that clean wood feedstock gets loaded into these gigantic 144 cubic yard walking floor trailers. We're not talking about pickup trucks here. This is what makes it super efficient to haul the material out to those big biocarbon plants.
What's really brilliant is that this isn't just a business idea. It's a system designed to plug directly into smart government policy. It's about turning big provincial goals into something that actually works on the ground.
And it lines up with what's happening in policy perfectly. You've got two things working together. First, you have the stick, a proposed initiative called ReWood that would just straight up ban clean wood from landfills. That creates the supply. Then you have the carrot, the Forest Biomass Action Plan, which helps fund the biocarbon companies, creating a hungry market. The Rehome Depot is the bridge that connects the stick and the carrot, making the whole system work.
And this is the end result:
All of a sudden, you're not looking at a waste stream anymore. You're looking at a value chain. That pile of scrap 2x4s from a demolished building gets turned into a high-tech material called biochar, which can then be used in parts for the auto industry. It's incredible.
So what this really all comes down to is a massive shift in how we think. We're moving away from a model of just getting rid of waste to a model of recovering resources. It's a totally new vision for our cities, one where our own trash becomes a source of wealth.
Which really leaves us with one final big question. Is it possible that our city's biggest, messiest waste problem could actually become the very fuel for our greenest, most innovative industries? Looking at all this, the answer seems to be a clear and very exciting yes.